Hello. Today we're listening to the Mars Volta, Deloused in the Comatorium. And I don't really know this band very well. You know, I've heard some stuff on the radio. You guys have played me some stuff. But for some reason, I just know that title is so them. Deloused in the Comatorium. It's so it's like flamboyantly theatrical and playful or something. Anyway, is this fan loud? I kind of need it right now. So I hope it doesn't cause a problem. Yes, I am looking sinful today. Well, I just wanted to wear black and I was running late, so I literally just grabbed the shirt. But I am using something I'm excited about today. The white version of my Ixie cup, which I just love the contrast. Looks so cool. All right. So yeah, let's get going. Peter is here. Peter, isn't it like the middle of the night? I'm so sorry about that. I really need to schedule some live streams at 7 o'clock or something. I used to do that, but I know it's 5 a.m. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, we're here now. So, okay, let's load her up. Let's also clean off my glasses. The ceremonial cleaning. The glasses with the tortilla. Better. Oh yeah. Somehow I have a scratch, even though I keep such good care. Such good care of my glasses. Maybe I don't actually. Okay. Deloused. I mean, I definitely thought it was crematorium until I actually read it more carefully. Okay, so we've got 10 tracks. Some look quite long, some look shorter, like some interludes maybe. Interesting. It already feels playful just looking at the track lengths. And the titles are, some of them look like they're in a different language. Son et Lumière. That's French, right? But what's this? Inertiatic ESP. What? Tira Me a las Arañas? Maybe that's Spanish. What's this? Eriatarka? What is the ESP thing? Because then there's another one. Cicatriz? Oh, Televators. I've heard Televators. I can't imagine what it sounds like, but I know the name very, very well. So that's fun. Okay, cool. Okay. Who else is this their first time? I feel like I'm probably going to be the only one, but okay, let's do it. Son et Lumière. It's possibly like an intro track.
Just standing My skin will need a graft. I am of pockmarked shapes, the vermin you need to lose.
Haha. This is the next track. Drums.
Are you peeking in the preparative afternoon? Well, I'm this mongrel architect, a broken arm of suicide, past, present, and future tense, clip side of the pink-eyed fountain. Well, I'm this mongrel architect, a broken arm of suicide, past, present, and future tense, clip side of the pink-eyed fountain. It's been said long time ago, you'll be the first and last to know. Ooh, you'll never know. Ooh, you'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never know.
Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts. Okay, hope I don't forget. First of all, they're very, I mean, it's like accessible, but it's quite experimental too. Like the song structure is, I mean, it's not like insane, but it's not like I can remember now, oh yeah, like this was the verse and this was the chord. Like, you know, it didn't feel like that. And obviously very cool like effects created with the guitar. It still astounds me how much you can do with a guitar and some pedals. Just crazy. The drummer, you know, I mean, if the drummer isn't killer, the band, I mean, I can't make an absolute statement like that, but I think the drummer has a lot to do with the power and professionalism and the just the overall quality of the band. Like, just gotta have a fucking great drummer, you know? Like, man. So this drummer's amazing. That groove in the middle, oh, with all the ghost notes, so good. I think that was a groove. It was actually an odd time, but it was the oddness took a while. Like it was 7/4 maybe, where the quarter note, you know, was like kind of plodding along, and so it took a while to get to the point where it felt like it was actually in 7. So it wasn't. Sometimes when the oddness is in eighth notes or something, you know, you get to the oddness really fast, you know, and you're like, oh, something's weird, you know, but you get into a groove and then suddenly there's a beat missing. I love that feeling. That's good. That's really cool. The singer is, I mean, I wonder what his speaking voice sounds like. I wonder if he does have just like a higher voice in general, because he was belting stuff and I was like, I think that he can sing higher than me, you know, especially in his chest voice. Like, I wasn't going to try it, but like, it's so powerful up there. And his intonation is fantastic. He's so, I mean, he could totally do musical theater. Is Televators the one that's like, you should have seen something, something, something? Is that Televators? Because this song sort of reminded me a little bit of that one, and I was wondering if they are on the same album, maybe. That song's amazing. This song, again, you know me, I can't catch all the lyrics on the first pass, but I definitely heard him singing about being alone a lot, and you know, it's a heavy one, and I think one of the ways they did that was with harmonic minor. I have a feeling they probably gravitate towards the sound, because harmonic minor has all the darkness and severity of minor with the gravitas of this chord. That. It also tends to make our ears think of classical music, right? So there were a lot of like arpeggios and things, which also we can sort of associate with classical music. So it's got this almost sophistication along with just the raw kind of psychedelic experimental rock thing. Very cool combination. I did hear some vocal harmonies. And that intro track, sorry, so that was Son et Lumière going into Inertiatic ESP. It's not all capitalized, which is why I think it's probably not ESP. It's like, you know, E and then SP. They clearly went together. It went right in seamlessly. Same key and same scale. But Son et Lumière was also really cool too. It had the explosion of the drums and the bass and the guitars all doing this like brrr. There was like this big roll that they all did, you know, like every bar, and they carry that into, or you know, maybe whatever, I don't know which one came first, but they had that in common. So you kind of got like a taste of what was coming, the power and also the dynamic changes, you know, because this is like just a hi-hat, right? Like it's just like right, just the hi-hat with the minor chord establishing our home. and then this blah, 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 right? So much contrast in the dynamics, right? Very suspenseful, exciting, and they obviously continued that theme of contrast and suspense and excitement into the main track here. And yeah, and there's different timings as well. But here's the thing. So that part is kind of in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, and I'm lost. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then. But they go into other time signatures later. But if memory serves, it's not like they change the tempo or anything. They basically just seamlessly go between time signatures based on a common pulse. This is the 8th note pulse, you know. Well, okay, I guess then maybe it's 3/8. I don't, whatever. It's in 3. But later, like. See, that's that same pulse going on, but now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? Is that this part, or was that a different part? Past, present, and future tense. Clips out of the pink I found. No, this is the faster 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, another 7 of those as opposed to 3 of those. That kind of thing. So it's not always too complicated, really, to switch between time signatures if you just keep a common pulse. Just thought I'd mention it. It's and it can happen very naturally without even really thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like you know, you feel it in your body that it's a different timing. You may not have to count it out though. You know what I mean? Because you could just feel that pulse. The pulse of a song is so like, it's, to me, it's not an intellectual process. Yes, you can count out, but I mean, you can count pulses, but to feel the pulse, I feel like there's no other way but to just feel it, right? Like I can't tell someone. It's like, just feel the pulse. Maybe that's just me being a bad teacher. I mean, you know, sometimes it's like, listen to the kick drum, right? The kick drum is doing the pulse. Like, okay, yeah. But if the kick drum's not doing the pulse, how do you feel the pulse? It's like, I don't know. You just feel it. Like, how would you dance to this? Right? How would you move to this in a consistent way? And like, it's just very body centric. So anyway, it's cool. I have a feeling because of the other song that's in my head that they did, that they like the minor 4 chord minor, which is really a great chord. So that's going to be an E. Like in the other song, I'm thinking of like, right? Like, it's got this really tragic sound when they do it. So I'm excited to see, you know, if that comes back and back and back. All right, well, let's keep going. Next one is Roulette Dares, The Haunt Of. They're so quirky. All right, this song's a bit longer. I believe it's the same tempo pulses. Maybe? Contrast. Look. Oh yeah, the triplets. I forgot to talk about those. Oh well.
Half-mast commute through umbilical blisters. Spectre will lie. Radar has gathered. Midnight nooses from
Nice fills.
Exoskeletal junction at the railroad delayed.
Like playing with you. The whisper track. That's the bell. Da 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 da. Clock. Ooh, the pads. Is it a keyboard? Yeah. Seventh chords. You can tell they spent a lot of time on the transitions between tracks. So they just, it's not just that they go into each other, but it seems like they're sort of like, it's like a narrative transition, almost like a scene change kind of feeling. Like, okay, now we're going to gently guide you into this new room or this new set on stage or this new, it's like, in a play. It just feels very, because they're not always so caring. They're like, there's lots of dynamic changes in this one where they're like, singing soft, then it's loud. There's lots of like that sort of jerking you back and forth, and you can tell they're doing it very playfully and having a good time with it. This one was mostly in 6/8, and some of their other songs that are rattling around in my head I think are also in 6/8, and it might be that they gravitate towards, because I feel like certain bands do tend to sort of gravitate towards more angular, strong, based in 4 kind of beats, and like occasionally they'll do a song that's around like 3. But the other bands, like say Perfect Circle, tend to gravitate towards grooves in 3, and they feel so different. They really do. Like grooves in 3 just have this fluidity to them, and sometimes it feels lilting. It's almost like, it's like 4 can be very dance like, because it makes you want to like nod your head, like, and stomp your foot and like jump, it's like, but it's like very repetitive. The beats in 3 I feel like inspire you like to like dance, like so many traditional dances are, I feel like, in 3, there's just something, because it's almost like without the, like, if you think of it, it's like a car with 3 wheels versus a car with 4, right? The car with 4 wheels is a lot more stable. The car with 3 wheels is always sort of like, obviously you wouldn't ever drive a car with 3 wheels that wasn't structurally stable, but I think you know what I mean. Like, there's just a little bit more that goes into keeping it upright. And like, it just, 3 feels like it continues. It like kind of, it feels like it's always going to keep going and it never stops. Whereas 4 feels like almost like you're at a stopping place all the time. I don't know. It just doesn't have quite the same momentum. Sorry, I'm not knocking 4/4 by any means. But they just have a very different feeling. So, yeah. And I think sometimes 3 can feel, it can feel more vulnerable, or it could feel more playful, or, just more flowing. So that's kind of cool. We'll see what happens as we keep listening. That one did have a 4 minor chord. And I feel like there's this one note that he finds himself singing against it. Let's see if I can do it. So I think this one was, I don't remember what key it was in. I don't think it was in something that wasn't compatible with the one before it, but I could be wrong. But let's just go back to B, because I can't remember. So he keeps doing like, yeah, like I think he often finds himself doing one or both of these notes, and I think that's the sound that's sticking out, because this is a dissonant 7th, and this one though is even possibly more what's sticking out, which is like you have this minor chord and then you have this major 6th sticking onto it, and I think there's a tritone that's created. Tritones are like, they're like if you made a dish and it had like a flavor that to you just stands out. Like if someone just puts a little bit of this spice or ingredient in something, you're like, this has, for me it's cilantro. This has cilantro, right? Or whatever. So tritones just like, they don't sound like anything else. They're just, yeah, there it is. Everything that has a tritone in it has like a little sign in my brain. It's like like something's weird. Like I just feel like he likes that, and we like it because he likes it. So, you know, you get to. There's all these little things that an artist will do intuitively, that they do and do and do, and you unconsciously grow to love that and expect, like, that's part of their calling card. That's what makes them them. So that's cool. Oh yeah, that lyric, that one definitely had like a chorus. That was the exoskeletal junction at the railroad left, or what was, anyway. Okay, next is Tira Me a las Arañas. Okay, I really want to know what that means now. Oh, Arañas. There's no Nye on the streaming software I'm using. That sounds better. Throw me to the spiders. Tira me a las arañas. Throw me to the spiders. Fuck. Okay. Oh, I forgot to talk about how syncopated those drums were at the beginning of the other song. Oh well. This is my life. Well, their songs go through so many phases that by the time I get to the end of it, I've like forgotten how it sounded at the beginning. Yeah, this is sufficiently creepy. Dissonant, bending pitches, things that make you feel uneasy. Cool guitar effects. Creepy, like ghostly guitar effects over here. Yeah, this sounds like Black and Wet. Next is Drunkship of Lanterns. Drunkship, sorry.
We've got the lock to burn. A shovel picks mother cries. Is there a spirit that spits upon the edge of the sign? Is anybody there?
I've heard this. Do this again. talk about this going between straight and so they keep going back between subdivisions of 2 and subdivisions of 3. So that's kind of that contrast that we were talking about.
You've got the lock to run, a shovel picks for the cries. Is there a spirit that spits upon the exit of silence? Is anybody there? These steps keep on growing slow. Bayonet trials, roll propellers away.
Ooh, great delivery. Their stuff was a lot more psychedelic than I thought. Very like Clapton psychedelic tone. Fuzzy. Oh. Sounds like one of those, like, tornado warning sirens. Stop it right here before it blends into the next one. Okay, before I forget, yes, this one had the 4 chord with those same 2 melody notes that I was talking about. So that's definitely like a thing I think we can say with confidence now. It's a thing that we love about the Mars Volta. And this melody is just amazing to me. And he executes it over and over again so well. It's gorgeous. This one's an A. Nobody. Nope, not that high. Nobody. Nobody. Oh no. Nobody's. I think those are the notes. Nobody's. Right. I have to hear it again. I won't forget. Sorry, I was doing the wrong note. Nobody's heard. Is that how you say nobody's heard? Right? Nobody's heard. The whole melody spans an octave. That's fairly rare, you know, and there's a huge jump he does down. That's hard. That's a major seventh descending. Two things that make that hard. Singing major sevenths is hard because it's a very dissonant interval. It's almost the size of an octave. It's so much easier to sing an octave because it sounds consonant to our ears. So it's like almost like our voice wants to lock into these consonant slots, and it's just right above there. So that's hard to nail. Luckily, it resolves to the octave right after. So, you know, he just has to like, but the other thing that's hard is it's just a huge descending interval. Ascending ones seem to be easier. Descending big intervals are harder. And it's just a big jump for the voice. So he has to go from his falsetto to his chest in that little. These. Wow, that's awesome. But how pretty is that? With this chord underneath it. That's the chord I was talking about before, this minor 6 chord thing. And then whatever that, 9th, of course. Damn, what is that? Oh, that's the 9th again, right? I'm sorry, I'm gonna get off of this. I just think it's incredible. It's so cool, and so it's creative, you know. It's not your run-of-the-mill melody. This one had Latin rhythms. I was trying to figure out what is. Like, I'm sure there's a name for that pattern, but I don't know. I think I used to know all this stuff a long time ago, like in grade school maybe, but I forgot. So if you know the name of this pattern, not triplet, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long. That's fun. There's hand drums. I just read that they're from El Paso, so, you know, El Paso is Mexico and El Paso. They're just hanging out together. And then there was some back and forth. I want to talk about this. They went back and forth between the 2 subdivision and the 3 subdivision. So at one point they're going. So this has a subdivision of 2, this part. But then later they go straight to swing. So they just kind of they kept going back and forth, which I think made it feel kind of like disorienting, you know? It was a cool feeling. But they also had sections that were like just very like clearly disorienting to make you feel like you're on this, you know, this on the ocean. I love how they do his vocals, because sometimes when he's singing way up high, they often put a really nice delay on his voice that gives it just this spaciousness and intensity. And then they'll go straight to like a very intimate dry vocal. And right there where I stopped it, he was double tracked in octaves with himself, which is a great sound. Really fleshes things out. See, there's a delay on that. He's amazing, man. Yeah, the drummer is so killer. The guitar tone, what is this? So it's not like, I can't tell, not being a guitarist. Is this a like fairly clean tone, but kind of like still something is happening to it that's making it sound kind of rough around the edges, like a little bit like bright and kind of complaining sounding, like that. But it's not like it's fuzzy and distorted, right? So curious, for those of you that play guitar, what you would say this tone is. I'm trying to place like what kinds of music I've heard this tone in. I'm having trouble because I've definitely heard it many times, but I haven't talked about the bass much. I have to admit I haven't been really listening that hard to the bass, so let me change that. Let's listen to Eriatarka. It sounds like it's in 3.
And all those who hadn't found the speaking so wrong. Is it wrong? Of travel of love they ran rampant through the floors. Is this wrong? Feels so wrong. Happen on a respirator in the basement. Are they gone? Are they gone? Stone sling of a gallows bed, Russian the dead letter pure.
How pretty. Oh, the harmony. Oh. I'm gonna stretch my legs. You should also. Sitting kills. Easy it is to dance to 3? Just flow. So pretty. Love that. Oh. Nice. Oh, this is almost like a... Oh, what is that groove? Where the snare is? 4. Whoa. Sorry. Something. I'm getting the melody a little bit wrong, but okay, it wasn't a suspension. What was it? Maybe that. Sorry. Some weird third chord. I couldn't quite figure it out. Listen to this. There's a lot of tense notes against that chord. I think he likes to do that. These two. And what was that high melody I couldn't get over? I've literally lost my high range after making my album. I don't know what I did to my voice, but I'm sad. And then I think it goes to a flat 6. Nope, sorry, the other one. Flat 3. Sorry, ugh. But there's a harmony on the second one. It's a third above it. So pretty. Heartbreaking. Wait, that was a flat 6. No, wait. Yeah. Okay. Flat 6. Flat 6. Okay, I wrote a reminder to myself in the chat to talk about how they switched from 12/8 to 4/4. Oh yeah, okay, so this first part's in 12/8. Wait, no. That sounds like 6/8. What was I thinking? Maybe that's what I meant. Maybe I meant 6/8. Okay, sorry. I meant 6/8. My bad. But they switched from 6/8 to 4/4 with this guitar riff. So let me see if I can find it. that's a separate. Okay, here. So that guitar riff, something about it, so it totally works against the 6/8, and that's how you hear it, I think, right after it starts, because you still have this. But then that boom comes in and it starts to sound like 4/4. They just keep repeating it, and now it's 1, 2, 3. They didn't change the riff. It's just slowly the dominant gene, I think, of the 4/4 starts to like assert, and then all these accents are hitting after 8 beats, so you start to hear it that way. But I just was such a cool transition, again using a common pulse of the 8th note to do it. I thought that was very cool. But yeah, it keeps going back to the 6/8. Okay, what does this remind me of? The Police. Okay, you know what else? There's a band that came after. Well, actually, might have been around the same time if I think about it, because I just realized how old I am. When I was in college, which would have been around this time, there was a band out called Finch. I've mentioned them before, but they had this album come out. I think it might have been maybe a couple years after this, called Say Hello to Sunshine, I think. And my boyfriend and I really got into the album, and then I guess we saw them live at some festival. But I definitely hear the Mars Volta influence on them, like so strong. And the guitar tone, I think also that I'm thinking of, that kind of like blatty, almost kind of like when, it's really, really bright sound. But yeah, if you like the Mars Volta and you haven't listened to Finch, I really do highly recommend that album, Say Hello to Sunshine. I can't speak for the others, like what they did stylistically, but you'll hear it in every band member, I think, loves this band. I would guess. But yeah, they might have been coming up at the same time. I mean, maybe I'm wrong to attribute the inspiration the other way around, but anyway. Okay, yeah, that was cool. All right, let's listen to Cicatriz ESP. Cicatriz. I can't think of any other way to say that. Oh! Duck. They love their minor key, my friends. I'm not complaining. There's that 4 chord. Pretty. Oh, this is the 12.5-minute one. Beautiful, detailed delay guitar on the right. That one too. Major. Nice, but not for long. vocal harmonies in this one. What does that remind me of? Psychedelic, kind of Pink Floydian. There we go. Kind of a jam. Woo! I've heard that technique before. I gotta see that. It's like a tremolo, but Ooh, I hear something. Harmonizing guitars? Man, most love that fuzzy psychedelic guitar tone. Okay, I gotta talk about this part. Where is it? Maybe I should go back to the beginning. Okay. Alright, so there's that 4 chord again. I love it. This one's an E. And there's those same notes. That's the Mars Volta chord. That's it. Maybe ideally it going between these two, but yeah, okay. Okay, so then it goes. Okay, so there's. Just some really fun, like, variations on the progression we've heard before many times. Normally it would go in this minor key, but they go. Ooh. You can do the same thing, by the way, by just changing. If you have a progression that has major and minor chords, try like changing one of them to the other quality. Like if it's minor, make it major, vice versa. Play around. You can come up with some really cool stuff with very little effort. You just have to know what you like. Okay, but yeah, this. Because there's this weird note in the. Yeah. And then how is that? Oh, it's I'm blanking. But the that okay, so completely unexpected because they haven't done this the entire album, where what's called the home chord or the tonic chord is major. At least I don't remember that happening. Maybe it did, but they typically feel comfortable in this album with a minor, darker home bass. So it's just suddenly so bright when it goes major, and the way that they've arranged the vocals here. So it sounds almost like 3-part harmony. So I'm hearing a whole major chord there, but there's a high E. Sorry, keep playing it over and over again. Definitely singing up there. So it's just suddenly so bright, so beautiful. But then on the way down, it changes back to minor. Okay, so last time, sorry. Minor. It's so pretty and it's gorgeous. Okay, the rhythm of this one, the gun, 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 so great because you get this really kind of, it's a pretty slow groove. Like those are the beats, that's slow. But inside of it, there's all this fast syncopation. Dun, 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 dun. This is part of why I like slow grooves, is because you have all this room between beats to do all sorts of shit. Like that. That's so cool. Ja, 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 ja. Ja, 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 ja. It's fantastic. All right. And then, yeah, in the middle, it was like a jam session, right? Super psychedelic, having fun. And then, yes, I agree with, was it Chris who said it's like it never happened? They just go back to this part of the song. Like the jam never happened. Yeah, totally. It's kind of feels like musical gaslighting or something. Like, no, you didn't just listen to 7 minutes of a jam. No. All right. Next is the apparatus must be unearthed. Yes, like it was a collective hallucination. I love that. There'd be tritones. Listen, 3. Shuffle. Okay, now it's back to 6/8. 6/8 and 12 aching. What is that? Now switching back to a 12/8 emphasis pattern. That's so cool. amazing. I gotta go back to this first part of the melody. Hang on. This. I was searching for someone.
I've been waiting for so long for someone to mend all the blame. I've been searching for so long.
Something, something, something. Hang on. Something's fun. Something's fun about that, 'cause you got your minor. This is kind of just the third, but then this is a secondary dominant that leads you to the spicy 5-chord in harmonic minor. I love how twisty this melody is. Da da, and sometimes he goes, I've been waiting for, like, little syncopated version of it. And that same melody sounds good over this and also over this. Da 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 da. And then it goes the higher. This. Da 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 da. It sounds like he's got an effect on his voice, like it's creating a harmony somehow with himself, but it's like fucked up. It's occasionally it sounds sort of harmonious, but a lot of the time it's just like so dissonant and just wild, like. I can't quite tell what's going on there, but yeah, that's cool. I think I've mentioned this before, and I haven't really studied it, but I just know that 12/8 and 6/8 can go into each other really easily, and not the way you would think, where it's like, well, 6/8 is just half of 12/8. That's not what I mean. I mean, you could have something that goes 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, and if you just play with a polyrhythm over it, you can get a 12/8 with a different pulse, like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2, like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So it's like a faster, whereas 6/8, the beats, the quarter notes are like 1 2 1 2, and the eighths are 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and the eighth notes of the 12/8 are twice as fast as the eighth notes of the 6/8. So the ticka-ta-ticka-ta-ticka-ta-ticka-ta. Or maybe not twice, whatever. Anyway, it's just cool. Aurora's song The Seed has the same effect where you're like, I feel this in wait a second. It's really fun. So they're playing with it, whether or not they're aware of the numbers. They could be. They seem pretty nerdy. Okay. Next is Televators, which, yeah, the title, I know I've heard. Curious if it's the song that I'm thinking of. The one without the drums. bird noises.
So calming, but I have a feeling they're not trying to calm me down. Also, someone said this was a concept album about a protagonist. So maybe this is him like waking up somewhere and there's birds and he's like disoriented. It is that song, isn't it? Oh, this is so pretty. This was on the radio.
Oh, no wonder it's going to be all fat, flat six.
Just as he hit the ground,
I love B
they
minor.
lowered a toe that stuck in his neck to the gills. Fragments of sobriquets
Sorry.
riddle me this.
Seems like
3 half-eaten corneas who hit the area, stalk the ground,
oh, the harmonies are killing me.
stalk the ground. You should have seen the curse that flew right by you. Page of concrete, sting walks, crutching, hobble, sway.
That's a shaker.
Auto da fe, a capillary hint of red. Only this manupod, crescent in shape as escaped. Your house half the way fell empty with teeth that split both his lips. Mark these words. One day this chalk outline will circle this city. Was he wrapping the asphalt that cushioned his face? A room-colored charlatan hid in the safe. Stalk the ground, stalk the ground. You should have seen the curse that flew right by you. Page of concrete, stain walks, crutching, hobble, sway. Auto da fe, a capillary hint of red. Only this manupod, crescent in shape, has escaped.
Love that.
Pull the pins, save your grace. Mark these words on his grave. Pull the pins, save your grace.
So musical theater.
Mark these words
He's in the front,
on his grave.
and they're all walking in from the wings.
Save your grace. Save your grace. Mark these words on his grave. You should have seen the curse that flew right by you. Page of concrete, stain walks, crutching, hobble, sway. Auto da fe, a capillary hint of red.
clarity is lost. That triangle hanging on though. Okay. This song is incredibly beautiful. I at least have to talk about that stop the ground part. And he's I mean, okay, I am gonna look up the lyrics. I'm gonna look up the lyrics. Televators. They're so playful with their words. Just as he hit the ground, they lowered a toe that stuck in his neck to the gills. Fragments of sobriquets? What is that? Man, they're smart. Literary geniuses. Okay. Apparently that's not a word. Maybe the lyrics I'm looking at are wrong. There's a sobriquet, which is a person's nickname. But I don't see a sobriquet. So that's fun. They made up words. Riddle me this. 3 half-eaten corneas. I remember hearing that line and going, oh. Who hit the Ariel? Stalk the ground, not stop. Oh, stalk the ground. Oh, that's so cool. Stalk the ground. You should have seen the curse that flew right by you. Page of concrete. Stained walks, crutch in hobbled sway. Auto de fe. A capillary hint of red. Only this manupod, crescent in shape, has escaped. Ooh. That is fascinating. I'm not quite sure, ironically, how to put into words how these lyrics are hitting me, or just the style of lyric writing. It's like, can I try? Can I do it? It's like nonsensical, and yet I see, I mean, not all of it. Some of, like, a capillary hint of red is very, like, but still, I mean, it's metaphorical, but it's not, it's more than that. It's like reading these lyrics, I like, it's very evocative. Like I'm seeing pictures, I'm seeing scenes in my head, but I'm not quite sure how I'm understanding some of these strings of words to create such clear images. Like page of concrete, or you should have seen the curse that flew right by you. Page of concrete. Like, this just sounds like, because he said just as he hit the ground, it's making me think of falling, and it's like a page of concrete, like the one square of the concrete. I don't know. Something really intriguing about these lyrics. They're different. And yeah, like the sort of this line, stained walks, crutch in hobbled sway. It just sounds good and interesting. Anyway, very cool. Be interesting to study lyrics like this more. Even though I'm not like a lyric analyzer, I like to at least kind of study them. So either he's a master at turning a phrase or he's bad. I can't tell. I'm gonna go with master. So anyway, stalk the ground, not stop the ground. So stalk the ground. So it's in B. They love B. That's our favorite key. And you got this arpeggio. But the chord stays the same. The arpeggio stays the same. The chord changes with the bass going down to flat 6, and now it creates a 7th chord. And that's most of what's happening in the verse, and also this pre-chorus, stalk the ground. But what's so incredible about it, I think, is the harmony. So he goes, the upper voice is lower one is stalk the ground, stalk the ground. Okay, so let's figure this out. So I think the voices are in sixths. That's the interval between them. Not for this first one, but for the rest. Yeah. So those last two notes, ground, is in these parallel sixths. One time, they didn't, the bottom voice didn't move down, so it went that, stalk the ground. And it stands out because it's like, it's so much more, it has this hard sound to it, like fifths, especially how resolved that sounds. It's like unforgiving. That's the concrete, right? But this, sixths are not unforgiving. They're fluid. There's like a comforting but sad sense to them. And it's not just the sixths themselves, the sixths. It's the dissonance created by that low note going down. I'm going to bet there's a ninth involved in here because it has that feeling. It made me want to cry. Yep, this one. There it is. And then this is a seventh. Oh, but they're so far apart from each other. Sorry. Stop it. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Cedric! Ah! But then the chorus is really cool because there's some just fun, weird harmonies that make it feel like twist you up. You should have seen minor 4. Da, 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 da. Maybe that. Da, 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 da. And there's a note that goes up. It like, let's see if I Okay.
You should have seen the curse that flew
Stop.
right by you. By you.
A.
Paid you
B flat. Okay. You should have seen. Da, 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 da. Sorry. What was I gonna do? Is that right? I'm getting there if it's not right. It's close.
curse that flew right by you. Curse that flew right by you. Paid you concrete. Stain walks crutching hobbles.
Yeah, I think it's essentially that. So it's the flat 6 chord in this key is G major, but they made it minor. This is a rare occurrence, my friends, of a flat 6 chord being minor. It's cool. But then they have this tense. That's not the only tense note. It's like, there. Maybe it's that. It could be. That's a crazy 7th chord, if so.
Paid you concrete.
Because the guitars are in harmony. Is that right? I'm going to play along with it and see if it's right, okay?
Have seen the curse that flew right by you. Paid you concrete. Stain walks crutching hobble sway. Auto
No, it doesn't. It does. Anyway, but that is very distinctive. Is that really high guitar doing this chromatic thing? It's not fully chromatic, but it's a little bit. That's so cool. So. then last time, hint of red, and then
A capillary hint of red. Only this manupod crossing.
I love this. This just touch on the chord, touch on the chord, touch on the chord, let it ring out. It's such a great contrast. All this something da, da, sorry, da da, then something, some kind of, let's see.
Only this manupod crescent in shape.
Maybe it's that.
Manupod crescent in shape as.
I think it's this suspended chord. All of this manupod. I'm a little bit wrong. That 4. Home. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm just playing it weird. I don't know. Some kind of angular sounding chord. That's sort of a transition. It's not home because we went home. His favorite chord with the favorite notes, and then it's something when it's back, and then get the sorry. So pretty. That's a great song. And I forgot that there was any percussion whatsoever. It's very gentle though, right? A little shaker and then a little bit of hand drum action. I love all the guitar like solos that happen after the chorus. Kind of these long fuzzy notes and that little synth that comes in as well. Beautiful. It's also amazing when he goes something da 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 da. Listen to the ways that he adds interest with just this little rhythmic shift in a melody. So instead of going da 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 da, that would be like the same pattern, ending a little different, but the same rhythmic pattern. But I believe, I'll double check, at least once he goes da 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 da, like he sort of compresses some of the notes closer together and then lengthens other ones. So it's just like little rhythmic variations that make the melody still recognizable and memorable, but fresh. It's so great. And then da, 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 stop the ground. Stalk the ground. Stalk the ground is way cooler line than stop the ground. Stop. But it's so intense, and he's so exposed and very dry. His vocals are very dry in this one. You know, it's so much more intimate. Really interesting. I like this song so much. I definitely want to spend more time with it at some point and dig into all of the lyrics and come up with my own sort of perception of what it's really about, what I see in my head. It's just really cool. But we're going to move on to the last song, which is Take the Veil, Cerpin Taxt. Oh, okay, that's the protagonist, right? Cerpin Taxt. Take the Veil, Cerpin Taxt. All right. Oh, that's silent. What? Happening there? Ooh, that's a Mellotron. I love that sound. Hello. Just got very froggy.
Tiny purple fishes are laughing through your fingers, and you want to take them with you to the hot land of the winter.
That's Flea. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna listen to the bass more and I didn't. Now I can. Lucy bass line. Quite melodic. Or it was. their 4/4 sounds like it's in grade. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're so dynamic. They're so together. There's like the fact that they can, I mean, you know, I've never seen them live, but I'm sure they nail it. How could they not? They're just like so talented. You know, that one had tempo changes. It had lots of time signature changes. And some of them weren't with that common pulse, you know, just like now we're just in this new timing and new tempo. And to be able to, you know, cleanly go, you know, and just like, you know, they're all together, right? And they there's that silence. There was this incredible moment of silence earlier in the song that I was trying to figure out. I'm pretty sure sometimes they would rest on beat 1 and then come in on the 8th note after it. See if I can find it. It's earlier in the song. Not here though. So Finch does that all the time too. It sounds good, but I mean, you have to be precise. You have to be really, just be really precise yourself, but you also have to be so in tune with your bandmates, you know. And they must just feel this stuff in their bodies so intensely. And, you know, there's so much fast stuff, too. It's just, yeah, it's pretty impressive. But it's emotional music, too. I wouldn't say it's, like, overly intellectual. Yes, there's a lot of intellectual stuff. There's a lot of, like, information to take in, both musically and lyrically. But you could also just listen to the music and just feel stuff, which I love, you know. There's so many ways you could appreciate this band. Just the raw emotion in this man's voice when he just, you know, he goes up into this higher range. It's just like he could be singing anything and I would still be like gripped, you know. The drummer is a powerhouse, you know. The guitarists are inventive and explorative, and is that a word? Yeah, it's just so, it feels very narrative driven, and it feels very like it's supposed to sweep you up in its story and take you along, and you're at its mercy, you know. And they do so much musically, I think, to put you at its mercy, to make you feel like you're on the ocean, or feel like you're disoriented, or feel like you're drugged, or feel like you're being eaten alive by something, or you're in a dangerous dark place. I mean, there's the sound design and the yeah, I mean, it's great. It's really great. Now I definitely want to listen to some Finch. But we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for suggesting this one. This one got a lot of people suggesting this on my post about like what top 3 albums do you feel like everyone in the world should hear? And several people said this one. And for the most part, like, there are no repeats on that thread, which is impressive because there's like hundreds and hundreds of suggestions. So I had a feeling this was going to win the poll, and I'm glad we finally did it. Unfortunately, there was a video I had done on listening to Cassandra something, that 25-minute song by the Mars Volta, but it was about 3 years ago, and something went wrong with my audio driver, and it sounded like, maybe it sounded okay during the live stream, but the recording is messed up, and it is unlistenable. So that's sad. That's too bad. But anyway. Okay. Well, thanks for joining. I will see you for the next one. If you're watching the replay on the public channel, we do album listening parties on my Patreon on the second Saturday of each month. So feel free to join, and maybe we'll see you there. Until next time. Cheers.